and YouTube. How's it going? Things are still weird for me. My frequency's just been crazy. If that's what you want to call it. That's what I call it. It's been going off the charts. Just buzzing all the time. Unbelievably happy for no reason. Whatever. I love it. It's great. Faith is great. I don't worry about anything. And anytime I do worry about some stupid thing, I just give it to the Most High. Get on my knees, pray about it. Poof. There it was. Gone. Women are still a big problem. There's one there. My weakness. Big time. One day will be my greatest strength, and that's what I gotta keep telling myself. Right now, because I don't have her, and they're all a very great weakness of mine. I don't even want to tell you this. I'm not doing that. I just seen myself doing that. No. I do that shit all the time. All these hand signals and stuff. You guys are all gonna think I'm Illuminati or fucking some shit. I've had them call me. I don't know if you guys have. It was funny. I prayed about it when it happened a couple times. It happened like 3 times in a row, and different members or whatever. Anyway, they were. I don't think they were real. Like, they weren't gonna give you any money, even if you had a fucking signed off. But I said, "Bug off," right? And blocked them. Blocked another one. Blocked another one. And then, excuse me. I kept getting this message. If you only a fool decides a matter before he hears of it. And I got that message again. It was a meme. A sermon came on, and then another sermon from a different preacher popped up, but all the same message. And that was like how my faith walk went. It was just that message kept getting driven home over and over. Other things were going on to do this pushing as well. I'll admit there's things I miss big time. Having plants, and I was getting really good at like growing fungus and stuff, and doing like paintings and things like this, having a space for things like that. But I don't, whatever. I can do without. Small sacrifices to make, and I have all. I know in my heart that God's going to give me back everything that I gave up. It's just a matter of time. Um, God's not a God that asks you to do something and then doesn't give back to you in return. He's given me already a better life. Knowledge, wisdom, discernment, understanding of the world. And those were the things that I asked for. Repeatedly, all the time. Peace, holiness, faith, prayer. Those are the other things that I ask for. Strength, and then, of course, wealth and love is in there as well. It's hard to remember all this stuff. But those are the things that you need in your life. And so that's, anyway, what you talk to God about. So the Illuminati guys, they, only a fool decides a matter before he hears of it. And was that message just came up and up and up. So I called him back. And I said, tell me about it. What's the deal, right? Teach me. And he's, okay, this and that. And you got to call my head guy. So I called the head guy, talking to him. And there was 12, imagine that, planks or whatever you want to call them, but like 12 contract bullets that you had to sign to. And how did that go? The first couple were that struck my mind. There was one about not discussing your God, not pushing your God out onto people unless they ask. And fuck, I can't remember them all now, right? But then there was another one about admitting that you tapped into a universal power of some kind in order to get these offers, in order to get where you were, into the position that you were, and, or are, whatever. And that you weren't talking about that to anybody, and that, if you broke any of their rules, I wish I could remember them all now, and if you broke any of these 12 rules, that you had to make a deal between you and the power that you used to get to where you were, that they would use that power against you to destroy you to nothing. And they would pay you through the eye until you broke contract. So, really, it was like, stop preaching, we'll pay you. But if you preach, then ask your God to smite you down, right? So it's not, do you see the mind game there where it's your God Ask whatever power that you used. It's the branch that you're on of God's power chain. The lightning bolt of God's power that comes down from heaven. You want to try to stay in that main chain. I'll use Umium and Thermum stones, but only because Metatron told me to. Metatron is the reincarnation of Enoch into an angel. He's in a book I read. And it wasn't a biblical book, it was a story book. But an amazing one. And he's a blessing. But he told the guy to use Umium and Thermum, and they were part of the chest plate. They were two of the stones on the chest plate, and they were used throughout biblical writings, consulting the stones. So I forget why I was talking about the Illuminati guys. Because there's a pretty girl's face right there looking at me on the side of the fucking phone. I'm gonna shut her down. It's so easy to when a woman gives you attention of any kind. When it's multiple women giving you, and I live in a fucking van in the nowhere. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you girls? It's because I'm so sexy. I know it. No, I'm just joking. It's because of my frequency being so high. It's all what they're attracted to. But it's the only thing, right? Lost my train of thought altogether. See, I was thinking about doing a video this morning about women and just relationships and celibacy. But I want to talk about it. It's been a long time that I've been fucking doing the celibacy thing. Hard to maintain the faith through it all. And the devil knows it. And he owns most of the world. People, the population, the women. They're his. They don't know it or whatever. But that's why they're his, is because they don't know. And the men, the people in general, and the LGBTQ plus whatever. Anyway, I think I might be out of things to say because I'm so distracted. I forget what I started the video on. I remember talking about praying and stuff like that, and my breakthroughs, and being in this van, and how I missed some of the world's things. I don't remember where I was going with it. I guess it's just going to be a ramble video because that's all I'm doing, rambling. I guess I'm done with you for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope that you all pray to God. Pray for faith. Just ask for it. Ask for a better prayer life and faith, knowledge, wisdom, discernment, and understanding. And just start with those things. Don't ask for blessings that you're not ready to receive. That's the other thing with the women. I'm stronger than I was, but I don't know that I'm as strong as I need to be. The deal I made with God was that he'd give me my soulmate, but that he'd first make me strong enough to keep her forever, or for life, right? And to be, not to never fight with her, but to never break her heart. Cheat on her, or leave her, or fucking walk out. To push to always resolve and whatever. But again, it's got to be somebody that thinks and feels and sees the world the same way I do, or that'd be impossible. If you see the world fundamentally different, then that's going to be an argument just in itself that you're going to come down to. And that's going to make static in the relationship or whatever, and eventually cause me to walk out, depending on how far from God she would be or whatever. So it's very worth the wait. Patience is a virtue that I've rarely possessed. Right? So it's just about God's time. Like I was saying, Abraham was 65 or something when he had Isaac. And it was all about the right kid. I don't know if I was saying this on the video or if I was saying this to somebody on Facebook. But it was on Facebook. Having Abraham had a child, Lot, with a different woman that wasn't Sarah. And didn't have Isaac with Sarah until he was, or Sarai, or whatever, until he was an old man and shouldn't have been able to have kids. And she was an old woman and shouldn't have been able to have kids. And yet they did. But if you're with God, can love Lot. He's going to love Lot, and he can use Lot, and Lot's a good vessel. There's nothing wrong with Lot, right? But his choice for Abraham was to make Isaac with Sarai, or Sarah. And so Isaac was so much more of a vessel that he could hold twice as much as Lot. Lot could hold Abraham and his mother, but his mother was no Sarah. So he'd never hold what Isaac could hold. He'd never hold the blood of Yeshua. Right? And couldn't hold the blood of even the kings, and the Maccabees, and the Levites. Like, it had to be with Sarah. And it was all on God's time. They wanted kids way before Isaac was born, obviously. That's why they had the kid with the other Sarah's chambermaid or whatever it was. Because Sarah thought she was barren. And instead of going to God, they went to another woman. That was their mistake. But I mean, I'm sure there were lessons there for Sarah and for Abraham and for Isaac to have the older brother who picked on him. Do you think Isaac would have willingly sacrificed his life on the hill or whatever? Like he would. They went to the altar. Isaac knew he was going to the altar. He said to his dad that he said, "Well, make sure that you bring my ashes, gather them up, and put them in an urn and bring them back to my mother so that she can remember me. She'll have fond memories and this and that." And Sarah had so much faith that when she heard about it, she was distraught and whatnot, but she didn't send guards to go stop them. She started to mentally prepare herself too, and just said it's God's will. So, God's will be done. Wow, I went a long ways past. I'm going to shut her down because I had a brain fart. Anyhow. Anywho. Yeah, I think that's it this time for real. For reals. Have a great, wonderful, God-filled day. Pray to God. Ask Him for things. Then believe in those things. And you'll get them. People manipulate the power of God all the time through simple ways. And they won't admit that it's God's power. But I can see when you're using God's power. I can tell when you're manipulating what you're manipulating. I've prayed for new eyes. I've been praying for new ears lately. But new eyes that could see more. See Bartholomew scene. I don't think you have any idea how wonderful that is. But to have those eyes and that kind of understanding in order to know what it is that I'm seeing. Hard to explain to anybody. really. Either get it or you don't. But I was talking about my drawings and doing art. Um, those were new eyes to see. But when it comes to like frequency, souls, and seeing people for what they are, it's a whole different sight. And then Bartholomew's sight, he could see frequency. He could see the spiritual. He could see past what we see, past the physical. So, even greater eyes. So there's always a greater to achieve still as well. Like, my faith is strong, but it's breakable with the wrong woman, let's say. You know, Satan could use with the wrong chain of the power. Satan could use and keep me trapped out there. Like I was saying, here's the main chain, but if you get out here and you're rich and whatever, this, that, the other, it's very easy to get trapped here. And guess what? You're not moving up on this side anymore because you're stuck out here. This movement stopped. So you got to get out from there to go up. Both hands. It's all Him. It's all God. There's no other power. Satan is he was gifted knowledge. Right? He's got more knowledge and understanding than we do. He's got a greater form, and that's arguable. But because our form is pretty great. I think I'm going to talk right through my time. If I do, have a great day, and God bless you all. Lost my train of thought again. Anyway. Another woman. Alright, I'm going to just say goodbye. Alright, guys, have a wonderful day. And God bless you all.